MAGA Mike Johnson, goodbye. You're about to lose your job. All hell is breaking loose on Capitol Hill as MAGA Mike Johnson has become a lame dunk. As you know, he shut down Congress through at least early June. Maybe Congress will be back for a week and a half. Then it'll probably recess July, August, pretty much through the election. Midterms are right around the corner. It's going to catch up really quickly. MAGA Mike unable to get any piece of legislation through. He and Donald Trump tried to rush through $1 billion in golden ballroom funding. That was exposed. They tried to rush through the $1.8 billion slush fund for January 6th insurrectionists, while Donald Trump gave himself full amnesty from all tax evasion and tax fraud and audits. That was smoked out. Then, of course, you had in the United States Senate a vote for the War Powers Resolution, discharging it to block Donald Trump's war in Iran. MAGA Mike panicked at the end of last week because Democrats had enough votes in the House to join the Senate, blocking Donald Trump's ability to continue conducting the war. Donald Trump would have a veto power, but wow, would it send a strong message if the United States House and the United States Senate joined forces to block Donald Trump's unlawful and catastrophic war in Iran. And MAGA Mike is terrified now that he's going to lose his job. The worst speaker of the House in history turned the United States Congress into the Russian Duma. Now run, MAGA Mike, like the chicken that you are. Run away, MAGA Mike, from the cameras when they're trying to ask you questions about the slush fund that you and Donald Trump are working on. This is what happened right as MAGA Mike shut down Congress at the end of last week. Let me share with you what went down here. Let's play this clip.
There's so much opposition to this. Why don't you just drop the weaponization fund?
It's not my call. We're waiting to see what the Senate sends us. They're working through that. So.
But it's obviously a problem, political problem. You guys are leaving town without passing this major priority.
I'll process whatever the Senate sends me, and they need obviously a little bit more time to build consensus. So that's what they've decided to do. So.
Is it wrong for the Senate to leave town?
I'm not going to tell them how to run the Senate. They don't tell me how to run the House.
They do tell you how to run the House.
Well, you make a fair point.
Should the January 6 rioters have access to this money, this taxpayer money?
Look, the DOJ has said they haven't set parameters on who might be.
Now we're also seeing a revenge of MAGA Republicans, or Republicans in general, who Donald Trump attacked. I should say Republicans. For example, he's not really MAGA. Thomas Massie, who was instrumental in the release of the Epstein files, working across party lines with Democratic Congressmember Ro Khanna. Of course, Donald Trump put all of this money along with into his competitor in Kentucky. Thomas Massie lost that race, but Thomas Massie said, "I still got 7 months here in the House, and I'm going to make sure I hold Trump accountable." Here's what he had to say. Play this clip.
And we need basic decency. We need basic decency. That's what the Epstein Files Transparency Act was all about. By the way, today is the 6-month anniversary of the Epstein Files Transparency Act. We've taken out 24 CEOs, an ambassador, a prince, a prime minister, a minister of culture. And that was just 6 months. I got 7 months left in Congress.
Then we heard from Republican Senator Tom Tillis of North Carolina, who Donald Trump attacked and effectively forced out. Tillis is resigning, and Tillis posted the following message when Donald Trump tried to attack Tillis. Mr. President, completely agree about having a lot of fun over the next 7 months, but nitpicking, some of your advisors are telling you to support things like using billions of taxpayer dollars to compensate convicted felons and thugs who attack police, pushing 50-year mortgages, using taxpayer money to transform publicly traded companies into state-owned enterprises, firing our best generals and not holding Putin accountable for his systemic kidnapping, rape, torture, and murder of Ukrainian civilians. Yeah, Donald, if opposing these things makes me a rhino, then I gladly accept that nickname. Here's what Tillis said about Donald Trump's slush fund. Play this clip.
These people don't deserve restitution. Many of them deserve to be in prison. But this is, this is just stupid on stilts.
Do you think you have colleagues that share the same concerns that you're expressing?
Yeah, they do. They need to speak up. I mean, this is beyond the pale. This is not good for my colleagues. There's no one positive thing that could be spun out of this between now and November. This is bad policy, it's bad timing, and it's bad politics.
We have
MeidasTouch Network then caught up with numerous Congress members about whether MAGA Mike Johnson is a lame duck. We spoke with Democrats. We spoke with Republicans like Democratic Congress member Castro, Democratic Congress member Crow. We spoke to MAGA Republican, some of the MAGA Republican Congress members did not want to talk to us, like Ronnie Jackson. We spoke with Democratic Congressmember Jim McGovern. Take a listen here. Play this clip.
So, Congressman, it looks like there's going to be another long vacation. What do you make of that? Like, are we entering the lame duck period of Mike Johnson's speakership?
Yeah, well, I mean, you remember the last half of the year, especially in election years, we're not in session. So most of the legislative days come before the end of July. And you see these guys trying to fund this slush fund, trying to pay for that ballroom, and this thing seems to have broken down because of that.
With everybody leaving town early, is this the beginning of the lame duck of Mike Johnson's speakership? What'd you say?
Who are you?
Pablo Enriquez. I'm filming it for MeidasTouch.
Good for you, man.
What's that?
I said good for you, man.
Okay. What do you think? Is it?
What's going on, man? How you doing, man?
Is any more work going to get done though in this Congress? Or is it pretty much over? Nothing.
Nothing for you, man.
All of Mike Johnson's speakership has been a lame duck. I mean, he's accomplished absolutely nothing, not a goddamn thing.
What you got though?
This is a shit show. This is a waste of time. This is incompetence. I mean, they should be embarrassed. And you know, I mean, again, they abruptly decided to, go back home because they're fighting amongst themselves.
I think it's stupid. I think we should have stayed here and worked. I'm disappointed in the Senate, but I'm always disappointed in the Senate. And I just think it's a waste of taxpayers' money. We've wasted a whole dadgum week. And I think it's kind of pathetic.
It seems like we're sort of entering the era of Mike Johnson, of the lame duck era of Mike Johnson's speakership.
That ship has sailed a long time ago. This guy has no control over his conference, no control over the Congress and House floor.
Do you think that as Trump gets more toxic against his own Republicans, though, there will exist a possibility of more bipartisan legislation?
Well, what is happening is people are joining together and forcing discharge petition votes, right? Discharge petition vote used to be really rare. They're starting to happen a lot more because people are fed up. They said, if Mike Johnson and the Republican conference isn't going to lead, we're going to come together in small groups and we're going to force votes as the American people deserve.
Democratic Congress member Greg Casar explains, Republicans just prevented the House from voting on a war powers resolution because they knew it would pass. Mike Johnson has cemented his legacy as the speaker who handed the most corrupt president ever complete control over the House. Republicans can run but can't hide from Trump's disastrous war. Thousands are dead and gas and grocery prices are up, and progressives will not stop demanding votes on the war powers resolution until the war is actually ended. So that's why MAGA Mike Johnson's just shutting down Congress right now. Oh, by the way, we learned that Howard Lutnick from the Epstein class, who's all in the Epstein files, he went to the island in 2012 after lying that he only met Epstein once in 2005 and was so disgusted by Epstein that he never saw him again and he refused to have any meetings with Epstein. But then Lutnick was all over the island. Remember how the MAGA Republicans in the Oversight Committee allowed Lutnick not to sit for an actual under oath deposition before a camera? Lutnick got to just do a transcribed interview, informal, not under oath. Well, we learned that Howard Lutnick cut a $5 million check to House Republicans after scheduling his Epstein testimony, what appears to be in exchange for it not being under oath, not on video camera, and as an informal transcription. So as MAGA Republicans have shut down the House and shut down the Senate, refused to vote on the War Powers Act, they are taking $5 million from Howard Lutnick. By the way, here's what Katie Fang from the MeidasTouch Network had to say. Play this clip.
Oh, do you hear that sound? It's a sound of a whole bunch of fucking losers leaving Washington, D.C. Oh, and those are Republicans. I'm sorry. I'm not going to give them flowers when they're not due. Just because they did the right thing and they left town and didn't vote on this insanity of $70 billion more to DHS, CBP, ICE. You don't get a reward for that. There's no gold stars for that. And the fact that you jettisoned that stupidity of a $1 billion line item for money to Secret Service, which really was to help fund what? The $1 billion ballroom and bunker for convicted felon Donald Trump? Don't get a gold star for that either. And the fact that you've actually found your balls about this $1.776 billion slush fund, which we all know is stealing from American taxpayers. Again, what do you want me to do? Give you a trophy? No, Republicans, you're finally doing what is right by the law and what your constituents have asked you to do for God knows how long in Washington, D.C. But we're going to celebrate the win because that's what it is.
We're also hearing from numerous other Republicans who are just totally losing it. You've got MAGA Republican Congress member Byron Donalds. Here's what he had to say. Let's play it.
Right now, gas is over $4 in every single state. Before the war, it was $2.98 per gallon. What are you telling your constituents in Florida who are really concerned and who are hurting because of the prices at the pump and elsewhere?
What we say is this is a temporary situation because it is. When this conflict comes to a close, the straits will be back open. When the straits are back open, global oil prices will tumble and they will see that relief.
But it'll take a while. This isn't an overnight fix.
That's actually not true. Once ships are actually allowed to move through the straits freely, you will see the future price on oil tumble in the overnight markets.
It's a temporary, so these people are such clowns. Speaking of clowns, you then had MAGA Republican Congress member Jason Smith. Here's what he had to say.
But now inflation is higher now than when the president took office.
It is. It did hit the lowest level in 5 years, but ever since the Iran conflict, inflation has ticked up the last couple months. There's no question it's because the result of the skyrocketing gas prices, which has had a
It
huge
was up
effect.
even before the war, though. Honestly.
But it was right at 2.24, 2.5.
The headline was higher.
Yeah. But can we do better? Joe, absolutely we can do better. We have to, though, have a true balance in spending. If you compare the revenues that come in to GDP, over the last 50 years, it's averaged 17%. So that has been pretty consistent, even with the tax cuts. Yeah. When you look at the spending, it had always been about 20% of GDP. However, now it's 24 to 25%. It did hit a high as almost 30% during COVID.
Then you had MAGA Republican Congress member Ogles lying and saying Obama had a slush fund. Obama had $1 billion. Obama didn't have $1 billion slush fund. With Obama, Congress passed a law after there was a settlement in a federal court approved by a judge. Judge approval, Congress approval. That's the way our system works. It doesn't work that you personally sue the government for $10 billion on a frivolous case, settle with yourself, go around the court and go around Congress. That's not our system, Ogles. Play this clip.
So there's a double standard in almost everything with the media, the fake news, not you, of course, but with some of these commentaries. Because look, Obama had a weaponization fund, again, because of the DOJ. So this isn't the first time President Trump is trying to help those that were wronged. And I think it's a good move.
Do you think?
And then you have MAGA Republican Congress member Jimenez saying, you know, Obama loved dictators. Biden loved dictators. These people are just so lame. It's lie after lie after lie, while the American people are suffering. Here's what Jimenez had to say. Let's play it.
It doesn't surprise me. It didn't surprise me that Obama was there trying to play buddy-buddy with Raul and that regime. There wasn't a dictatorial regime that Obama didn't like. Just like today, there isn't a dictatorial regime that the Democrats don't like. Even though they're supposed to be the champions of democracy,
Right.
you know, they go around the world trying to defend these communist dictators or dictators around the world and blame the United States for the woe that they're causing to their people.
But having said,
there you have it, folks. Let me know what you think. Hit subscribe. Let's get to 7 million subscribers. Thanks for watching.
Want to stay plugged in? Become a subscriber to our Substack at MeidasPlus.com. You'll get daily recaps from Ron Filipkowski, ad-free episodes of our podcast, and more exclusive content only available at MeidasPlus.com.